Hi Bowl Bakers! Did you know that you can bake in a crock pot or a rice cooker? They produce incredible desserts like the gingerbread pudding cake I'm going to show you today. So let's get baking. Crock pots are fantastic, especially if you live in a dorm or have a small kitchen. You can make so many desserts like a molten lava cake, crumbles, even a cheesecake. This gingerbread pudding cake is so soft and moist you're just going to want to eat it straight out of the crock pot with a spoon. We're going to start out by making our gingerbread batter. In a large bowl, add in your butter, brown sugar and treacle. Then we're just going to melt all these ingredients together. I like to do it in the microwave, but you can do it over a bain-marie as well. Once it's lovely and melted, we're going to whisk in our room temperature eggs. Make sure your molasses mix is not hot when you add in your eggs, otherwise they will cook in there. This mix looks fantastic. This recipe is my favorite gingerbread, and if you remember my trifle from last Christmas, it's the same gingerbread I used in that. Into this mix, I'm going to sift in my flour, ground cinnamon, and ground ginger. I know you don't often see me sifting ingredients, but you do always want to do it when you're adding in dry ingredients to a thin batter. You want to make sure that there's no lumps and it's nice and fine. Then gently just mix in your dry ingredients, taking care not to overmix the flour because you know it makes things tough when you do. You'll notice that it's really thick now and I still have lumps of flour because now we're going to add in our milk. Before you add in your milk, we're going to heat it up in the microwave for around 1 minute until it gets nice and warm. Now, I know this sounds kind of weird, but I'm going to add my baking soda into my warm milk. And the method to my madness here is because it's actually going to cause the chemical reaction. Give it a little bit of a whisk up, and as you can see, it starts to foam on the top. That means the baking soda is activated. So now we're going to want to take this and add it into our other mix. Gently whisk your whole batter together. It's a little bit messy at the start, but it'll come together. Look at that, and you see all the bubbles? That's the baking soda activated in there. Gorgeous. Look at that beautiful caramel molassesy mix. And that is our gingerbread. Just look at that. You guys are not going to believe how good this is when it comes out of the crock pot. The crock pot that I have is big, it's 4 quarts. But if you only have a small crock pot or rice cooker, those still work just as well. You can just half or quarter my recipe. Before I add in the gingerbread, I'm going to take an old butter paper, this trick I've shown you before, and we're just going to grease the crock pot just to make sure that your cake comes out nice and it doesn't stick in there. Okay, lovely. Now we can go ahead and pour in our gingerbread. Even as a raw batter, this cake looks lovely. Lastly, on top of the gingerbread, I'm going to pour in this mix I have of melted butter, water and brown sugar. And what this mix does is it gets nice and steamy and it makes the cake really moist as it bakes. I'm really excited for you guys to see this when it's done because I made it for the first time the other day and it just blew me away, so I know you're going to love it. Now we're going to pop on our lid and then turn it on to bake. Now for my crock pot, I put it on high and I'm going to cook it for around 2 hours. But you know your crock pot or rice cooker better than I do, so just keep a close eye on it. Now if you don't want to cook your gingerbread off straight away, that is totally fine. You can put it in the fridge overnight and bake it the next day. I wanted to show you that after an hour, this is what your cake should look like. You can see it has totally risen up and it has absorbed all of that liquid that we put on top. You can tell it's really lovely and moist. Just look at how soft it is. That's how we call it a pudding cake. And then if you shake it, it's still really jiggly in the middle because it still needs more time to cook. But this is looking and smelling fantastic. Our gingerbread pudding cake is done and I want to show you exactly what it should look like. If Christmas had a smell, it would be just like this. It smells spicy and treacly and just amazing. I'm going to give this a little bit of a shake because you can tell there's still a tiny bit of a jiggle in the middle, but this is perfect. If you push down on top of the pudding, you can feel how soft it is, but it's also firm, which means it's perfectly cooked. So now I like to take it out of the crock pot because I want it to stop cooking. I'm going to set it aside and let it just relax for around half an hour, cool down and all the flavors marry together, and then it's ready to serve. And look at that, you see that lovely texture? This is what steaming and baking a cake at the same time will do. It's incredibly moist and soft. And that stuff in there is gingerbread gold. You get a little bit of cake and a little bit of gooey with this pudding. Your gingerbread pudding cake is best served with some vanilla ice cream. I'm going to add on some salted caramel sauce as well. And of course, there is plenty for everyone. How is it?
This is amazing.
You see, I told you. From Kevin, Waffles and I, wishing you all a very happy Christmas, and we'll see you back here next Thursday for more bigger, bolder baking.
Happy Christmas, everyone.
Bye guys, happy Christmas. Can I have some?